Hi everyone, good afternoon from Singapore. Hope you guys are good and well. It's the first trading day of the week and we just actually finished our weekend sessions for StockSmart Singapore. So to everyone who attended, thank you guys so much for coming. It's always an honor to be part of every Filipino's journey towards financial freedom. So now as we start the week, I hope you guys who attended use whatever lessons that we had there, from support and resistance to parabolic stars to MACD, moving average, trend lines, and everything else in between, for you to be able to practice and tweak your trades. And I hope that you use that so that you eliminate emotion when you start trading and investing the market. So now we're at the halftime break. The PSI is up, slightly up, but still just slightly above 7,500, but still bearish for the short, mid, and long term. So nothing much has changed in terms of a trend and range perspective from where we were last week. But here's I guess a piece of good news for those following the markets, for those picking and analyzing individual stocks. I'm talking about Globe. The telecom industry has been battered with a shroud of negativity because of the possibility of a third player. There's been a shroud of negativity because they might have a new competitor, and it's been reflected over its stock price. Most of the telecom stocks, there are only two, but PLDT and Globe have been pretty much bearish. But as of the halftime break, guys, just a quick update. PLDT is up, Globe is up 6.78% at 1,575 pesos per share. So good times for people holding Globe stock. Amazing. You have to remember this, Globe is still an Ayala-led company. I believe Ayala is one of the best run companies here in the Philippines, so they will be very resilient on how they run the company. They will always find ways on how they can innovate. They will always find ways on how they can actually produce earnings results for their investors, shareholders, and everyone who believes in the growth opportunities that are present in Globe. So what is actually triggering this price movement? You have to remember this: for stocks to move, for stocks to have any significant price moves, there must be something that will either shift the way investors will see it. There must be something that will shift the fundamentals, or at least shift investor perception. And for Globe, it's pretty simple. For those who've been following the videos that I've created, one thing that I would always mention is, as an investor, your goal is to follow earnings, and whatever movement you are seeing now is a byproduct of Globe beating analyst expectations, beating expectations of everyone else in the street, that Globe as an amazing company has started to actually earn more. So what are its earnings results for the first quarter? Number one, revenue is at 33.2 billion pesos. It's up 6.8% year on year. Amazing figures. What else? Then the net income is up 4.7 billion pesos at 24% up. Amazing figures, guys. 24% up year on year. Lastly, and this is what I always say, one way for you also to filter out stocks, and you can know if they have a larger share in the market, meaning larger share of the market will help them get more clients, get more customers, and it's hard to beat the market leader. Guess what? A few years ago, Globe became the #1 telecom company here in the Philippines in terms of subscriber base. Their subscribers are up 8% year on year to 63.3 million pesos. So from a fundamental perspective, this is what's driving prices right now. From a fundamental perspective, it's an earnings play, it's a subscriber play. It's them capturing more and more of the market. You have to remember, way before Globe was the market leader, they already had large margins, and it was their large margins that were relatively, how can I say this, protecting them. It was protecting them from even if they had a smaller subscriber base before, because their margins were so amazing, they were relatively good and protected because the margins were giving them larger bottom lines. How much more now when they have a large subscriber base, but not just a larger subscriber base, but they have the margins that are still intact. And I think it's pretty much right smack into where our economy and where our demographic is going. People prioritize mobile load, people prioritize data over a lot of things that are probably more essential. But that's the demographic, and it's hard to change that in how Filipinos live. Filipinos are online most of the time, and for you to be online, you need data. And as everything evolves that direction, Globe is pretty much right smack in the middle of it. Now let's look at the technicals. From a short-term perspective, for those who have been following the charts, it has started to reverse and break out of the 20-day moving average, which is a short-term parameter for the stock. It's not something that can set the tone, but here's what I believe. From a short-term perspective, the next resistances could be found at 1,700 to 1,800. When I get back to the Philippines, I'll try to make a more lengthier video as well as to where the longer resistances are for Globe. So why am I saying this? If the breakout progresses further, quick traders who are positioned already, set your target prices first to 17 to 18. If it breaks out of those 17 and 18 ranges, I'll try to make another video and update you where will be your next target price. And that's just amazing. News like this makes people excited, but as good and amazing as this news are, of course, let's not get too excited by it. You just treat it by the numbers, treat it as a normal trade. The best way to win in the markets is for you not to be emotional about it, not to be attached to it. If you are an investor though, be attached, be inspired by how amazing the growth of the company is, and as they are amazing, it will give you a firmer conviction that you can hold on to the stock at a much longer piece of time. So that's it for now. Still here in Singapore. It's relatively hot. It's more humid than Manila, but it's just amazing to be here. It's just amazing to see the culture still. There's so much amazing things about Singapore and how they have made their society efficient, great, and amazing. And I believe that we can do that as well, that we have the potential to make Manila, the Philippines, great again. But it all starts with all of us doing what we can, and I really believe that the more investors we have, the better country we will have as well. So that's it for now. This is Marvin Guillermo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See y'all again soon.